Hey everyone, I'm your host Matt Bisaccio, and this is WMCT Sports Weekly. It's been quite the winter sports season for all of our high school basketball teams across the city. Whether it was the unexpected run from AMSA, the ending of a long playoff drought from AV, or whether it was the end of a great era from Marlboro High, they all certainly gave us great entertainment and memorable moments. And speaking of memorable moments, Chris Doherty gave us plenty to marvel at over the last few years, and he was poised to make another run at the Central Mass District Championship. First, we'll take a look at the Panthers as they took on the Hawks of Milford.
The Panthers came into this semifinal matchup coming off of a less than stellar performance from their star, Chris Doherty. For the most part, the first quarter would continue to be a struggle. Milford took advantage of sloppy play by utilizing a full court press that led to a 9-2 lead midway through the opening stanza. Things were looking good early on for the fifth-seeded Hawks. But before the end of the quarter, Marlboro would make a run, led by these two threes from senior Jordan Oliveira to take the lead by one after one period. The second quarter would be a different story for the Panthers. Doherty would begin to establish his presence down low. They would also get contributions from senior Alex Santos and again another three for Oliveira. Both would finish the game with 9 points. Now check out this sequence from Doherty. He shows off his versatility as he blocks the shot on one end, beats his man down the floor, and converts through the contact. And to finish off the half, senior captain Kevin Short drills this three at the buzzer. Marlboro goes into the half 34-20. Milford couldn't find much to cheer about in the second half either. The half starts just like the last one ended, with a three from Short. Doherty would continue to dominate the paint, blocking shots and getting easy buckets like this one. Here he throws it down on the break. Marlboro rolls into the final, 67-41. We caught up with the Panthers star to discuss the game and playing in another district championship.
It was a good team. They're a good team, and they had us last year, and I remembered that. Said that to the guys before the game. Our offense was there the first half. Defense was a little shaky, but we came back and we corrected our mistakes, and it showed. I mean, it would mean everything. I mean, some people never won at Marlboro, and to win two would just be an honor, so that's what I'm looking for.
Doherty and the Panthers a few nights later looked to capture that second district title in 3 years.
Notre Dame-bound Chris Doherty had his many talents on display for all to see in the first. He rebounded the ball well, he led the fast break with the aggressive take to the basket, and showed off his ability to run the floor on this play where he trails the fast break to catch the alley, and later as he beats the D down the floor for an easy two. Kevin Short also got into the act as he scored 9 in the first, including his second buzzer beater in as many games. Marlboro would take a 21-9 lead going into the second. There, the Panthers continued to shoot well and expand their advantage as Short hits the mid-range jumper and later another three. The Rams' Jason O'Regan was the sole bright spot for Shepherd Hill. He scored 11 of their 18 first half points, with these being the loudest two. Marlboro led at the half, 36-18. Shepherd Hill would switch to a full court press in the second half that Marlboro would have a very difficult time with. The Panthers were forced into several turnovers in the third, including this 10-second violation and an uncharacteristic mistake from their senior point guard on this one. Coach Bowman would try to stem the tide, but Shepherd Hill would continue to hit shots. O'Regan showed off some of his toughness here, and Jason Kavik would create a nice look for himself, hitting this jumper. Despite this shot being waved off at the horn, Shepherd Hill was back in it, down just 10 going into the fourth. The Rams came out swinging in the final period, as Adams hits the tray, and O'Regan again finishes strong down low. The momentum had swung, and the kids from Dudley could not miss. O'Regan hits this three and finishes with 24 to draw the Rams closer. A couple of possessions later, Cody Adams would put Shepherd Hill up by 1. Then, Jason Kavik hits another three to put the Rams up by 4. Marlboro would try to regroup and find their star, Chris Doherty. This would end up being his final high school basket, and a few moments later, it would be over. Shepherd Hill beats Marlboro with a dramatic comeback to capture the Central Mass title.
Although it wasn't the end anyone expected, the senior class from Marlboro deserves a lot of credit for what they've been able to accomplish over the last few years, making it to 2 district championship games and winning the district championship back in 2016. Now, just a quick drive down Route 85 will lead you to Assabet Valley, where their boys basketball team just finished up one of their most successful campaigns in the last 20 years. What did they accomplish, you ask? a 23-2 overall record where they were undefeated at home, they were Colonial League champs, and they appeared in the Central Mass semis for the first time since '99. Let's take a look back at the Aztecs' first-round matchup against Millis High.
The Aztecs faced off against the Crusaders from Millis in this first-round playoff matchup. Jeff Hunter got the scoring going early on for AV as he shows off the range from deep, and here as he takes it hard to the hoop and finishes after the contact. You could feel the tension building early on as these two get tangled up, setting the tone for what would be a physical contest. Assabet would dominate the first with their passing, like on this alley from McManus. Later, Hunter would find McManus with a nice outlet pass on the break, but maybe no assist was nicer than this find from junior Kaysen Dent. The second quarter would belong to AV as well. They would continue to push the ball in transition on plays like this one, capped off with the floater from McManus. Despite this buzzer beater from senior Bryce Latosic, the Aztecs would carry an 18-point lead going into the half. The second half started off well for Assabet, but senior leadership of Millis showed up in the third as the Crusaders were able to cut the Aztec lead down to single digits, led by the sharp shooting of Latosic and fellow senior P.J. Adams. However, late in the third, the rally was halted by this unnecessary shove from Ray Hilaire. It gave the Aztecs free throws and the ball back. That possession led to this flush from the big man, Jeff Hunter. The Crusaders weren't going to go out without a fight, but in the end it was just too much to overcome. The duo of Hunter and McManus combined for 38 points as Assabet Valley outlasts Millis to advance to the quarterfinals Friday night at 7, where they'll square up against Abby Kelly. Afterward, we caught up with Coach Corzini.
We just knew that Millis was going to be a really scrappy, tough team coming into the game. And, we came into the game with that mentality that it's, survive in advance time. And the reason why Millis made that run in the second half was because we let the score dictate how hard we played defensively. You have to keep your cool, during those moments where things aren't going your way, and you just have to continue to plug away with the stuff that doesn't get into the stat book.
After a tough test in round one, AV looked to keep the momentum rolling against the boys from Maynard.
The Aztecs met up with Maynard for a spot in the district championship game. Maynard's Corey Olivier was hot early and often as he hits the 3 and 1, then gets the members' bounce on this tray. Assabet responds with a couple of nice dimes from McManus. First, with the alley finding the back-cutting Jeff Hunter. And then on this special move, watch as he breaks down the defender and then finds Hunter again with the behind-the-back feed. The Tigers would continue to shoot well, netting a 4-point play on this jumper. And again, Ian Fowler hits another 3 to help give Maynard a 9-point lead after 1. The shots just kept falling as Fowler would hit another 3 to start the second. Assabet kept themselves in the game by passing the ball well, like on this outlet by Hunter. And later, with this nice feed from McLean to Selden for the easy 2. Maynard would counter in a big way. They hit 6 threes in the second, including not 1, not 2, but 3 pull-up threes from Olivier. He was unconscious. He scored 19 in the first half to help give the Tigers a 45-32 advantage at the break. In the third, AV came roaring back, thanks in large part to Jerry McManus. He hits the 3 here. And now notice, on this play, as he doesn't just watch the miss, he beats everyone to the rebound and lays it in. AV would continue to rip shots from downtown. They would get contributions from Selden and Hudson, as they would help the Aztecs outscore Maynard 24-14 in the third to pull within 3 going into the fourth. The Tigers just wouldn't let AV get over the hump. Olivier, who would score a game-high 33, does it here with his passing, finding his teammates in transition to help take back the momentum. But in the fourth, it was Tommy Smith who put the final dagger in the Aztecs. He scored 8 in the final period as Maynard ends Assabet's season, 78-69.
With Hunter, Bass, and McManus all having one more year of eligibility, there appears to be a lot to look forward to from them next season. And coming up after the break, we'll look at the year the boys from AMSA put together and their coach, Joe Cellino.
Have you taken the 40-gallon challenge? Take your pledge to conserve water. To find out how to save 40 gallons of water a day, visit your local UGA Cooperative Extension office or www.40gallonchallenge.org today.
Welcome back. The Panthers and Aztecs weren't the only ones making noise this basketball season. After a slow start, the Eagles from AMSA also put together a successful year and earned a spot in the D4 Central Mass playoffs. Before the playoffs began, however, we caught up with their coach, Joe Cellino.
Now, you as a coach, what would you say would best describe your style?
My style? I'm pretty laid back. I let the kids, dictate, for the most part, how the game is going to be played. What I've done is I've taken the strengths of my team, not necessarily the way I played or how I think we could play, but the kids all have different strengths, and I try to build around their strengths. And I'm definitely open to suggestions because I can get pretty stubborn in some of the plays I like to run and some of the things I like to do. And the kids give me input of, Coach, that's a horrible play, it's not working. And I appreciate that. So it's an open dialogue with that, and I think we have a mutual respect for each other, and that's why we're pretty successful.
Steering towards your team in this season, there was a point in mid-January after a loss to Assabet, your team dropped to I think it was like 3-6 at that point. Since then, you're 8-2. What has led to your team's improved play over the second half of the season?
Yeah, the team has definitely gelled. They're working more together as a team. In that stretch, we played the Colonial Athletic large schools, and those teams, definitely have a bigger enrollment, and they are very good teams. We played a lot of them tough, but it was always a 2-3 minute spell where we'd go bad, and we just couldn't recover from it. Then we went into the small schools where we were 8-0 undefeated. So we played the small schools, we played them well. And it's just kids gaining confidence. We work on certain things throughout practice, and then you start to see the benefits on the court. Then they start to get it. So I think that certainly helped. The kids working together and then realizing they can get some success, and I think they just fed off it.
The boys from AMSA took that momentum and looked to build on it going into their first-round playoff matchup against Notre Dame.
We'll jump ahead to the fourth quarter of this Division IV first-round tilt between the Eagles and the Crusaders. Here, Zach Marquez threads it into Nick Gopal underneath for two. Gopal led AMSA with 24 points and 15 rebounds. After only one hoop in the first half, Marquez finds the stroke on this play. He'd finished the game with 12 points. Increased pressure in the second half led to fast break opportunities like this one, putting the Eagles up 59-57 with just over 3 minutes to go. But Notre Dame responds with baskets from Derek Thomas and Russell Rao, who both poured in 14 points in the second half to keep their team in it. A couple of minutes later, Marquez knocks down another jumper to put the Eagles up 66-64 with just under 1 minute to play. The following possession, the Crusaders get the ball down low to their big man, Rao, who hits the clutch bucket to tie the game. With 14 seconds left, Coach Cellino calls a timeout to draw up a play. That play, get the ball to Marquez and get the heck out of the way. He takes the ball to the hoop and scores with 8 seconds left. Notre Dame has one more chance, but he can't get the shot up. The Eagles take care of business, and we caught up with Coach Cellino after the thrilling win.
No, absolutely not. We knew this team played real good first halves. They played Leominster, Division I team. They were down 2 at the half. They played Monty Tech, a rival of ours, and they were down 2 or 3 at the half as well. We knew they would play a good first half. We knew we just had to persevere and then take over in the second half.
Despite the fact that AMSA would go on to lose to the #1 seed in Worcester Tech, that game-winning shot against Notre Dame will certainly be a moment that those players and coaches won't soon forget. With that, the winter season is in the books. We look forward to seeing what the spring season has in store, and I look forward to seeing all of you at the games. For WMCT Sports, I'm Matt Bisaccio. We'll see you next time.